Hey guys, this is Mr. Davis. In this video, we're going to talk about solving equations. In particular, I've got three goals. One, I want you to be able to show your work correctly. Two, I want you to be able to combine like terms. And three, I want to introduce or review with you the idea of distribution. Now, if any of these things are too easy, you can skip it and you can move ahead. So if you already know how to show your work correctly, go ahead and move forward. That way you are learning at your level. You ready? Let's get going. So real quick, let's see if you can show your work the right way. Go ahead and see if you can solve this problem. Go ahead and hit pause, and in just a second, I'll go through it. Did you hit pause? Okay, let's do it together. So I'm going to go and pull out my red marker and let's go here. When I look at this problem, I see that I've got two things going on. I've got a multiply 3 and I've got a add 4. I'm going to remove the most simple operation first, which is add 4. The opposite of add would be subtract. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. After I do that subtraction, I'm going to rewrite my problem. So after I do that subtraction, that will go away, and I get 3x equals, and then I'm thinking, what is 10 minus 4? 10 minus 4 is 6. Now I'm not done, but I did do the add 4, so I only have one operation left right here. I've got times 3. So it's the opposite of times 3? Well, the opposite of times 3 would be divide 3. So I'll divide both sides by 3. This will go away, and I can rewrite for my answer. X equals 2. Please pay attention that I rewrote after each step. I only did one thing at a time. Also, the answer isn't over here somewhere. It's right here underneath. Some students get in the habit of writing the answer over here to the right, and that's not what we want to do. We want to make sure our answer goes right underneath. All of our equal signs should be lined up. Okay, you guys tried this one. Hit pause, and then hit play when you're ready to check your answer. All right, here we go. I've got two operations. I've got divide 2, and I've got, it's not add, I've got subtract 1. Subtract 1. Subtract 1. So I'm going to do my inverse operation, starting with the most simple thing, which is more simple, dividing or subtracting. Well, subtracting is more simple, so I'm going to do the opposite of subtracting 1, which is add 1. So I'll add 1 to both sides. That's a 1. And let's see, that will go away. That's the whole point. Rewrite the problem. X over 2 equals 6. Notice that my equal signs are lined up. Equal signs are lined up. And let's keep going. Let's see, that's a divide by 2. The opposite of divide by 2 is multiply 2. Whoops, that's the wrong thing to use. Now, some students put the multiply down here at the bottom. That's what I like to do. It is absolutely perfectly appropriate. In fact, it's slightly better mathematics to show a times 2 over to the left and to the right. So that's another way of doing it, is the times 2 to the left and to the right. That will go away. X equals 12 underneath is the answer. Okay, hit pause and see if you can show your work the right way for this problem. All right, let's do it. I've got a divide 4 and I've got an add 5. Removing the most simple operation first, I'm going to get rid of the add 5 by doing subtract 5 on both sides. Once I do the subtract 5, I rewrite my problem. X divided by 4 equals 2. What's the opposite of divide by 4? Well, that would be multiply by 4. So both sides get a multiply 4. That goes away. X equals 8. My equal signs are all lined up, so I'm good to go, and that's my answer. Cool, let's see if you guys can do combining like terms. Hit pause and try the problem on your own. If you can't do it on your own, just I'll go through it in just a second. All right, when I combine like terms, that's just a fancy way of saying put things together that match. So I'm looking for things that match. They have the same variable attached, or they have no variable at all. When I'm looking for matching things, what I just did with that 2x is wrong. What I did with the 7x was correct. whatever sign is in front of it stays with it. So this is a positive 2x and a positive 7x. Those things combine. Positive 2x, positive 7x is going to make a positive 9x. Now this 5, there's nothing that matches with it on the same side of that equal sign, on the left part of the equal sign. It just comes down. But what kind of 5 is it? Is it a positive 5 or a negative 5? Well, it's going to be a positive 5. If there's nothing there, it's positive. We're lazy. We should probably get in the habit in mathematics of writing the plus 5 at the front, but we don't. If the plus 5's not there, if there's nothing there, we pretend it's a plus. If there is something there, it's always going to be negative. So either we write negative 5 out, or we just write the number 5, and that means that it's a positive 5. I'll put the positive 5 right there, equals 50. Please notice I put things in alphabetical order. All my things with letters first, and then anything without a letter last. So the 9x should definitely go in front. Some students might have written 5 plus 9x, and that is bad math. We don't do that. We put things in alphabetical order. And then it's the same thing as last time. I'll subtract 5 from both sides. 9x equals 45. Divide both sides by 9. X equals 5 is the answer. Alright, why don't you try this one? Hit pause, hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Alright, looking at this, I've got a positive 3x and a negative 5. Positive 3x, negative 5. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So that's negative 2x. But I'm going to slide that negative 2x over. Oops, not the whole thing, please. I'm going to take this negative 2, and I'm going to actually give myself some space to work with it, because I know that I need to do something with that negative 7. That negative 7 is just going to come right at the very end. So I'm going to have negative 2x minus 7. There's nothing to combine the minus 7 with, so it just can come straight down. Equals 11. Notice that I put things in order, everything with a letter first, and then things without a letter last. And from there, I can solve it using my normal equation strategies. The opposite of minus 7 is plus 7. That goes away. Negative 2x equals 14. Divide both sides by negative 2. X equals negative 7. If this negative and positive division here is hard for you, that's okay. You can use a calculator, and I can go through some strategies in class to help that be a little easier for you. Alright, let's do the next one. This one's longer. Go ahead and hit pause, try it on your own, look for all the combinations, and then hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Alright, first thing I see here is a negative 8 and a negative 2. That negative 8 and that negative 2, neither of them have any x's with it. They match. They are like terms. So I can combine them together. Negative 8, negative 2. If I've got negative 8 and then I got negative 2 more, or another way of thinking of that, if there's 8 people on the negative team and then 2 more people on the negative team, negative 8, negative 2 are going to make me a negative 10. That's the wrong thing. Negative 10. And now let's combine my x's. I got positive 2x and a positive 3x. Positive 2, positive 3 make positive 5x. Did you notice that I put that sucker in there, the positive sign at the front? That's a-okay to do. But if you don't like that, you can always just not write it. Remember, nothing written means that 5x is positive. I put things in my alphabetical order, so everything with a letter first, anything without a letter last. The sign stayed connected in front of the letter, or excuse me, in front of the number, and I'm good to go. Let's bring down my equals 5, and now we can solve the problem normally. The opposite of minus 10 is plus 10. 5x equals 15. And let's see, divide both sides by 5. X equals 3 is the answer. Distribution. All right, if you're here, you probably skipped something earlier. That's awesome. Let's do some distribution. This parentheses sign right there that we see, the parentheses operation, has an actual name. The parentheses operation, when we read it out loud, we say group. You see, there's a lot of different types of parentheses. This one means grouping. So we read that out loud as group of. So this literally says 2 groups of 3x minus 1 equals 10. 2 groups of 3x minus 1 equals 10. So I have 2 groups of 3x minus 1. What would that look like? Well, that would look like 3x minus 1 and another 3x minus 1, and they work together to make 10. So what is 3x and 3x going to combine to make? 6x. What's minus 1 and minus 1 going to combine to make? Well, minus 2 equals 10. This is just a fancy combines like term problem. But a lot of mathematicians, a lot of math is about finding shortcuts and making our life easier. And so while it's not that big of a deal to write 2 groups of 3x minus 1, think how big of a deal or how much time it would waste to write 1,000 groups of 3x minus 1. I mean, I'd just be writing 3x minus 1 over and over and over and over and over and over, and that would take a lot of work. I'd be repeating that addition so many times. Wait. We learned something. Repeated addition, we know what repeated addition is. Repeated addition is called multiply. So I'm going to multiply my group by 2. I've got 2 groups of 3x minus 1. So everything in that group is going to get multiplied by 3x minus 1. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. And that's going to equal 10. Notice that I got that again. Multiplying was just faster than writing it all out and combining like terms. From here I can solve the problem normally, which is more simple. Times 6 or minus 2? Minus 2. To get rid of minus 2, I add 2 to both sides. 6x equals 12. One step, then rewrite. The opposite of times 6 is divide 6. That goes away. X equals 3 is the answer. Why don't you try this problem? Hit pause. Hit play when you're ready for me to go through it. All right, I've got minus 2 groups of 5x plus 10. I'm going to multiply the entire group by minus 2, everything inside the parentheses. Negative 2 times 5x is negative 10x. Negative 2 times positive 10 is negative 20, and that's going to equal 30. And from there, this is a very simple problem. Which is more simple, times negative 10 or minus 20? Minus 20 is more simple. I get rid of it by doing plus 20 on both sides. That goes away. Minus 10x equals 50. Divide both sides by minus 10. X equals negative 5. Now, did you hear me calling negative 10 minus 10? That's A-OK. Minus and negative are 2 names for the same thing. Just like plus and positive are 2 names for the same thing. All right, try this problem. Hit pause, and then hit play when you're ready for me to check it. Did you get thrown off by the x being by itself? Remember, we have a number that's in front of every single letter by itself, and that number is 1. X is by itself, 1x minus 5. So this problem says negative 3 groups of 1x minus 5. I'm going to multiply everything inside the parentheses by negative 3. Negative 3 times 1x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. And that's going to equal 45. From there, I use my simple solving strategies, which is more simple. Times negative 3 or plus 15. Plus 15 is more simple, so I'll get rid of that by doing minus 15 on both sides. That goes away. Negative 3x equals 30. The opposite of times minus 3 is divide by minus 3. That goes away. X equals negative 10 is the answer. Good job, guys.